In less than an hour, lawmakers in Annapolis will run out of time in the 2018 General Assembly session. Bills that have not passed by the midnight deadline will have to wait until next year. WJZ's live in Annapolis. Joy Burnett breaks down some of the most significant bills that made it through. Joy.
Well, Vic, lawmakers were haggling with some of these bills down to the wire, but they were able to pass significant pieces of legislation like the budget for the state and a multi-billion-dollar package to try to get Amazon to come to Maryland. Once the governor signs the bill, Maryland will have new laws governing crime. The targets will be violent repeat offenders. Democrats and Republicans found common ground despite concerns. Delegate Talmadge Branch represents Baltimore. He supports the bill that calls for mandatory 10-year sentences for repeat violent criminals. His grandson was murdered last year.
I think that it's high time we do something instead of doing absolutely nothing. I mean, we have an issue in Baltimore. We have 342 families that have been victims of murder.
Activists fought against this bill down to the last minute. They're concerned it will lead to mass incarceration.
Well, it's not necessarily the murderers who get caught. It's the people that live in those neighborhoods that are swept up. And a lot of times the criminals that need to get caught, they don't know anything about this legislation or laws that are happening.
Lawmakers also passed a multi-million-dollar school safety bill, which will provide more resource officers. This comes weeks after the deadly school shooting in southern Maryland. Facebook was also a topic of conversation. Social networks will now be required to maintain records on political ads. In the 90-day session, Governor Larry Hogan sometimes showed frustration. Monday, there was praise.
I want to thank the presiding officers and the legislators on both sides of the aisle in both houses for really working hard over the past 90 days and for accomplishing a lot for the people of Maryland.
And we have about 50 minutes until the 2018 session comes to an end. The governor said lawmakers are able to tackle about 1,000 bills, including some help for Marylanders with their health insurance premiums. Live in Annapolis tonight, Joy Burnett for WJZ.
Joy, thank you. Earlier in the day, the Assembly gave final approval to a bill to help improve diversity in Maryland's new medical marijuana industry. 3,100 bills were introduced in the General Assembly this session.